I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Never read the Odyssey. Don't really know nothing about the Odyssey. I just heard that it was the greatest story ever told. And man, I don't know if it's still the greatest story ever told after watching it, but what I can say is that what's his name? Christopher Nolan might be the greatest director ever told, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really like this movie. I love this movie with a passion. The only thing about it is, like, I just wish I knew more. Like, I wish this is one of the situations where I'm like, man, why did I never read the Odyssey, bro? Why did I never read the Iliad? Why do I not know anything about mythology outside of God of War? And now I'm playing Hades right now. So bear with me, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know, but I really enjoyed the movie. So let's just jump right into it. So first things first, man. I was not expecting for the Odyssey to be nightmare fuel. I don't know what I really expected outside of just seeing, like, you know, all the actual cast for this movie and just being like, okay, they got to come with it. You know what I'm saying? And then the hype all around it. But after watching the trailer and then seeing a glimpse of what, like, the Cyclops was gonna look like, I was a little nervous. But, like, the CGI, you know, in this movie isn't that bad to where it's like it's the, you know, it's gonna take anything away from the movie. Like, the CGI is not gonna take anything away from the movie. It's just more so, like, I think they went for the more, like, authentic route of what a Cyclops should really look like, probably based on the description in the original text or whatever. So that's why it kind of looks like that. It looked more humanoid. It looks like that little mask that people be wearing, where it's like the little crying baby man, old man face. That's what it looked like, but except the face was like sideways or whatever. And then outside of that, like, just like the different rocks and different, you know, mythological creatures that was out there as well. But it was just complete nightmare fuel from just an environmental standpoint too. Like, after watching this joint, I never want to get on a boat again. You know what I'm saying? Like, not no rickety boat like they was rocking with. Like, put me on like a cruise ship or something. Even then, I don't want to be out there when it's storming like that. I don't like, One Piece made it look great, bro, you know? But now watching this joint, it was just like, yo, I never want to get on a boat, bro. So that's like that. Like, I would have nightmares about that, you know? And it was actually out there in the water. So that was a whole nother level. And then also, I know people making a big deal about the, like, how you choose to watch a movie, whether you go see it on IMAX or if you go see it on like the 70 millimeter or whatever the thing is. Obviously, I don't know what it is because I didn't go see it on that, but I saw it in laser. That joint was crispy, but the sound design, bro, that joint was booming. When I tell you, like, the storms really felt like I was in the storm, bro. Like, I was like, it was almost like 4D almost. You know, they wasn't splashing water at us or anything like that, but that joint was going crazy. And then outside of that, like, when you want to just talk about the story in and of itself, to me, it's more of a memory than a story. Like, I just felt like I was just getting told lore the whole movie, because we don't get back to like real time as far as like anything to do with Odysseus specifically until towards the end of the movie. Everything else is like a story that's being told by himself to the blonde lady. I don't know her name, but her name is like Charlize Theron. And forgive me if I get anybody's name wrong in this joint or pronounce it. This is my first time hearing them. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Holland's character, I don't know what they were saying, you know what I'm saying? But so like I was saying though, like, the story is being told through these almost memories, but they're like told in like chronological order in a sense, from the time that Odysseus leaves to go to Troy and goes to war until we can catch back up with him in real time, where he like regains his memory type thing. And that's like how they progress the story outside of what Tom Holland's character Telemachus, I don't know bruh, I'm sorry, outside of, you know, his I don't want to call it rise to power, but his survival, along with Anne Hathaway, who was playing Penelope, with all of the different suitors and stuff that was going on in what was it, Ithaca. So like outside of that specific storyline, everything else was a memory. You know what I'm saying? So once I figured that out, it was not so much like trying to already understand who Odysseus is. I got to just experience like the whole story from start to finish, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready for the ride now. Shocking surprise was Travis Scott initially. I was like, what Cactus Jack doing in this movie? You know what I'm saying? I didn't recognize him at first because his voice didn't have no auto-tune on it, but I was like, nah, that's Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was cool. But like I said, this movie is more about a memory and just building the lore of Odysseus for a big payoff in the end. And it was epic, bro. It was epic. And the only thing that like I really like, it's not even that like I don't understand what was happening. It was more so like I know this person is important, but unless I know their name, I'm kind of just experiencing the movie in real time and just taking the context clues that they give us and kind of putting things together. So like, you know, I heard of some of these people's names before, but when it came to them popping up on screen, I wouldn't have known them from a bag of rocks, bro. Like, I don't know. And then, you know, my favorite part of the movie was actually the end. And I'm not going to necessarily spoil what happens in a sense of like how the actual movie ends, but like my biggest takeaway was like, you know, when you think of just like the Battle of Troy, I don't know if that's what they call it, but you know, when they put youngins in the little wooden horse and they rolled them in and then they took the city, right? You only really think about it from kind of like the perspective of the people taking the city, because it's like their position as like the greater good in a sense. But really, they the one who cast the first stone because of the actual like trickery that, you know, ensued. It wasn't like an honorable way to win, but in times of war, sometimes it's more about the results than the means. And they kept like bringing back like this adage or this saying that they had in the Odyssey, which was like all about like Zeus's rules and stuff like that, and like how they like supposed to set themselves apart in a sense. And this was probably like the first time where, you know, Odysseus really felt the weight of his actions, because of like not only like what it meant, aka the end of the war, but what it took to get there. And then that kind of like flipping his head all the way to the end of the movie, I was just like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. Like that was like a perfect callback, not only for Odysseus specifically, but characters like Penelope and even Tom Holland's character, and another joint name who was another big name in this joint was Robert Pattinson, who played Antoninus. I don't know how that sounds. That might be right, but yeah, man, that joint was better than I expected. But to me, I don't know if I'm ready to crown it like my favorite movie of the year. I will say that it's probably going to end up being like the best movie of the year. Like, even when I think back to Project Hail Mary, that's such a unique movie. But this was just a great story. Like they really brought that joint to life. Like, if all adaptations was like this, I know Christopher Nolan can't do every single movie, but if they could just keep going on in this like mythology world, I think that would be cool. You know, everybody named Mama was in this movie. I can't name them all, and I can't really like speak to the context to a lot of these decisions and everything that like, you know, went into them. But what I can say is that like when you put a movie out and it's set in a like something as, you know, famous as the Odyssey, you have to bring your A game, bro. Like it can't just be another one of those movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the feat of putting it together, because me personally, I'm not like a mythology head, so I don't know, you know, if all the experts are gonna like feel a certain way about the movie because they left this person out, or like that left that part out of the story, or like, you know, they changed this thing up, they changed that thing up. But I have like a new found understanding when it comes to adaptations, that like I'm not necessarily looking for the changes anymore. I'm more so trying to just experience what they're offering me, you know, as like a viewer in the audience. And I'll allow that to inform like kind of more so how I feel about the movie first. And then if I end up getting more context later, through like, cause I'm definitely gonna go down a rabbit hole after this, but applying the context that I have later to, you know, newfound thought, then I can apply it to it. But like out the gate, just watching the movie, like after watching not only this, but Avatar: The Last Airbender live action, and you know, all the rest of the live action series and stuff like that we've seen, even Moana that also came out recently. Like when you take something that's already good and like quote unquote like the best story ever told, and then you put the right director behind it and the right people, and it's like bam, like it works. But when it don't work, it's just like, yo, we should never do this again. So it's a slippery slope when you really think about it. But after watching this, I'm just like, yo, this is what they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? This is what they was talking about. And I can already like see myself watching that joint again, just because of like, not even because I saw something so epic in it. It's more so just like the process and the plot of the movie. It was just like, it was long, but that joint went crazy, bro. Pause if needed. You know what I'm saying? But I really enjoyed that joint. Let me know how y'all feeling about the Odyssey in the comment section below. And you know, when we get to the actual review for this joint, we'll see how I'm feeling then, because you know, with time, with conversations, even like when I do the deep dive, you know what I'm saying, opinions might change, you know? So we'll see how things shake out. But as of right now, I'm going crazy. So hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. We almost at 1,000 subs. I appreciate y'all for watching, tuning into the live stream, tuning into the shorts, tuning into these videos, and you know, more reviews coming on the way. So other than that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.